So, people will give you what you'll accept. True story. By the way, I've never introduced myself for real. Um, like formally, I don't think. But anywho, name is Love C. Well, artistically, the name is Love C. That's like I said, that's as good as you're gonna get from me right now. Uh, the lighting is trash. I should have had that together before I got up on here, but I didn't. Today has been one of those days where just it's kind of off. So I hope that works. And once again, I'm not looking in the camera after doing almost 50 videos. So there's that. Um, but yeah, so I'm Love C. And this channel is basically me yapping for now. It could turn into other things, it could develop into something else, but that is what it is now. So now you know how to pronounce it. Love C is me on Instagram, which I think I should have put my link to my Instagram in the description box. All right, now back to the initial statement. Um, People will give you whatever you'll accept. And I think that is so wild. You would think that if you have gone through certain things that people will try to offer you the best that they can possibly offer you if they know that they've done wrong by you, but that is not the case. You will find yourself bargaining even when you shouldn't be, even when you were treated a certain way in said situation. I'm speaking in code because I can't tell you exactly what I'm talking about. I don't want to because my personal life is my personal life, but I also like to bring some of it in without telling you all the deeds. But it did teach me that people will give you whatever you'll tolerate. People will give you whatever you'll allow, and a lot of people will lowball you. You can't think that people have a moral compass. You know what I mean? You can't rely on that because I feel like a lot of people don't. And so if they can do whatever they did to put you in that situation and then play in your face on top of it, people will play in your face if you let them play in your face. The moral of the story. And I've allowed people to play in my face for years. And I'll say in the past. Nowadays, not so much. Nowadays, I have boundaries. I didn't even know what that was. I didn't know that was a thing that you could do prior to. But now I know. And so now I've been having boundaries. Now, these past, I'll say from 30 to now, which is going to be 36, once again, June 1st, I have been hardcore boundaries. The beginning, I'll even say 29. It started. The seed was planted, and since then it has been growing. So now, no, but prior to, I let people play in my face, and it drained me. And now in my 30s, I have to have boundaries. I have to be very mindful and intentional with where I place my energy because I don't have much energy to place. So I got to make sure that whatever I give my energy to is going to be something that's going to give energy back to me. I hope that made sense. And so, yeah, I do have to take accountability though, because yeah, people can do that. And in the beginning, if they initiate it, sure, they're wrong for what they're wrong for. But at some point, when I see that they're doing that and I keep allowing them to do it and make excuses for them and all this crap and have this extra compassion that's unreasonable and unrealistic, hoping that if I give that to them, they'll come around, but I'm seeing a person, no matter what I give, keep doing the same thing, keep giving me the same thing, and I keep accepting it, then I am now a volunteer. I'm no longer a victim. So at certain points in my life, I may have started off as a victim, but became a volunteer and not a volunteer, a participant. That's what I meant, y'all. A participant. I started off as a victim and I became a participant. Once I knew that people weren't going to change their behavior and that they were just gaming me because they're like, oh, I see how to make her move now. She'll talk and she'll say this, but she'll still stick around. They started to learn how to game the system. And then that was it. Once I realized that that was going on, I should have left. I shouldn't have given so many chances, but I did. at that point because I couldn't be who I am now because I wasn't who I am now then. But now I am. And today, my situation that I refuse to go deep into just kind of showed me that and reminded me that and to stay on my path. And it is okay to have boundaries. It is okay to say no. It is okay to say exactly what you want. Other people can beat around the bush. You don't have to. You can be direct. You know what I'm saying? If I catch a flight, it's going to be direct. And that's where I'm at with it. It's okay to be who you are unapologetically. So that's who I am. And even in me being who I am unapologetically, knowing that I still have a big heart, that I still am loving, that I still am empathetic, that I still can give grace, that I still can give forgiveness, that it's still there. However, I'm not going to do those things with people who are playing in my face, who are yanking my chain, who are trying to game the system, who have no intentions of being a better human or being any of the things that they're requiring of me. That is where I am at. Still loving, still forgiving, still graceful, still merciful, still all of these things. That will never change. I don't have to become this dark, bleak person or this drill sergeant. I don't have to become a whole different version of who I am to have boundaries and to be heard. Also acknowledging that both are in me. I am loving, but I am also stern. You know what I mean? I can be open, but I can run a tight ship as well. All of these things are a part of me. And for the longest, I felt bad about being the boundary setting version of me. I felt like that was being mean, or maybe I was being too harsh, or you know what I mean? And it's like, no, I am loving. I could be a lover if that's what you bring out of me. But if you bring out the other side, I may not go balls to the wall. I'm not going to be a version of myself that I'm not on either side. However, if you bring out that other side of me, that's what you're getting. And I'm not feeling bad about it anymore because I see how people maneuver and you'll sit here and you'll be tripping all over yourself trying to overextend yourself and show up a certain way. And you watch people, if you could be a fly on the wall, the things that they say, how they this it's a game. I'm not saying it's that way for everybody. That's not what I'm saying, but I'm saying it is that way for a lot of people. I feel like we have been taught to be manipulative or that we exemplify certain manipulative behaviors. So I think that personally, that is in all of us. Now, whether we choose to acknowledge that or if we are able to acknowledge that, choose to act on it or not, that is up to the individual. But I feel like it is there. And I feel like if people can weasel their way out of stuff, if they can give you the bare minimum, if they can uh, get the most from you, once again, by giving, but if they can get the most from you and still give you the least, they're going to do it. There are people who are going to do that. And then there are people, like I said, who have a moral compass that actually care and who won't, you know, and they will give you what you deserve right away. They will, but I feel like in order for people to give you what you deserve right away, they have to be a person who takes accountability, who looks at the situation in its entirety, not just about how they feel about the situation, but putting themselves in your shoes as well. How would I want to be treated if I was on the other side? I've already explored how I feel being on the side I am on. Now, being in that person's shoes, how would I feel? How would I want to be treated? That person has to have that to some degree in them, or else you're gonna like I said, they're not gonna give you the best. They're not gonna extend themselves. Some people you have to really shake the table on them. You gotta wake that ass up, or they're just gonna continue to pull you every which way. And I feel, I guess, although I feel like there are people who, like I said, can give you what you deserve and all that, and are very compassionate and are very fair. I guess I live in a world where I thought there was more of that kind of people. And now I'm realizing that that isn't the case, that the world consists of much more of, you know, the people who play in your face, the manipulation tactics, the gaslighting, and all of this stems from, I just feel like as humans, we have a huge accountability issue. And I believe that a lot of the times that I showed up a certain way in my life is because I lacked accountability as well. I think the greater things that have changed in me has come by way of me learning what accountability is and what it looks like. And it looks different in every situation. Accountability, it looks different in every situation. But if you are committed to doing that and to taking accountability so that you can grow, then you will. And in that, you start to see how many people aren't. And I would love to be past the point of judgment. And I believe that someday that I will disconnect from what I see and just act accordingly. Act accordingly, excuse me. Yuck. But right now, because I thought I was living in a completely different world. And now that I have realized the world at large and that majority of people are not doing those things, once again, in one of my previous videos, or maybe several previous videos, I don't know, because I can't remember everything I say, but I thought I was living in a different world. I was taught to treat others how you wanted to be treated. And I'm not saying that I was always perfect, but I strive to meet that at some point. And that's what kept me evolving and getting better, is because I did have that as a goal. I had certain rules as a goal to keep me evolving into a better human being. And I just realized that the world that I was raised to believe in doesn't exist to the extent that I thought it does, or did, I mean, and it's heartbreaking. And I grieve. And then all the while, also the world is still falling apart at the seams right now, which is another thing. I feel grief. I feel grief because I feel like the world that I was told existed never existed, or that I'm not getting to experience that version of it. And so many others I know feel the same way. So I know I'm not alone in this, but I go through waves of grief, of feeling like I thought I was gonna achieve my dreams at a certain age, that I was gonna get to see certain things in the world, or that I would at least be able, even if the world ended up looking a certain way, that I would be able to achieve certain things before that happened. And now I just feel like I'm in one big nightmare. But still, once again, trying to make the best of it and still trying to show up as a decent person, not a perfect person. That doesn't exist. But I'm still trying to show up, even though I feel like I'm in a world that is not what I thought it would be. I'm still trying to show up. I still decided that, yeah, maybe that world doesn't exist to the level that I thought, but I still want to be that person that I believed in becoming in that world if it would have existed. I don't think any of that made sense the way I wanted it to. I made up my mind about who I want to be, regardless of what world I'm living in. Moral of the story. But it doesn't stop the hurt and the grief of what I thought I was going to see. And now, even though anything's possible, I'm still wondering if I'll ever see it, if we'll ever see it. Because once again, I know it's not just a me thing. I know there's so many people who are going through it. But it's just like, damn, like, I really try to be, I really wanted, I'm going to be who I decided to be, regardless. I just wish that I got to be it in a better world, at a better time. But now I just gotta deal. And so, like I said, it has caused me a great deal of grief. And I feel like depression is such a, not saying that depression isn't real, because that's not what I'm saying at all, but I just feel like it's dismissive in a sense of what I'm trying to convey, because what I feel is bigger than depression, and it comes in waves. And I know and have established that the thing that it is, whatever you want to call it, like I said, waves of grief is what I'll say. It's not going to go away until I leave this planet. I'll just go through different ways of it until I leave. And, at times it's more bearable. At times it seems like it's not even there. But that's what it is. And, oh man, and not, it's been like a versus battle, because this is the real world and I am dealing with the real world just like you guys are dealing with the real world. And I want to be I want to be the positivity in this world, in everything that's falling to pieces. I want to be the thing that keeps people encouraged, that keeps them laughing, that keeps them smiling. That's what I would like to contribute to this world. Light, a lighter side to things, because I think that things are so heavy. But the reality is I'm a human in this world, and I can't be those better versions or be that version of myself I'd like to be without acknowledging that I am going through both. Getting up every day and I don't know where my life is going. I never felt like I achieved the things I thought I was going to achieve. I don't feel like, human wise, in my human mind, I don't feel like I'm any closer than where I was when I first started. But at the same time, I don't know everything. I'm not all knowing. So even though I may feel a certain way every day, I could be getting closer to better on the things that, in some of the areas that I desired. I don't know, man, but I just feel lost. And then I'm learning all of these different things in the midst of the lost. And then, like, okay, what am I supposed to do with that? What was the point of learning that? I mean, it's helpful, and I'm gonna implement it, but I don't know. It's weird, y'all. It's weird. It's weird. It's weird. And per usual, I don't know. That took a that took a turn, baby. But I'm gonna get on this little camera here and yank your chains, like I said that people would do me or us. I mean, like, remember I said people would yank your chain and play in your face if you let them. I don't want to get on here and play in y'all face. You feel me? So I got to tell you the real. And that was what was on my heart today. Per usual, I don't know how cohesive any of the things I said actually were or aren't or whatever. But as what? It made me know my body look a certain. It don't even matter. But it just like it looked more, you know. Okay, that didn't do anything, but at least I can, yeah. Because I don't know how long. Golly, this one my voice is gonna be all over the place. I am so sorry. It's dry and then it's moist at the same time. It's weird. This is tough, but I had to get this video out while it was hot. Like I said, I'm still figuring things out. As far as recording and everything, where I want to record in my room, and it's not gonna always be in my room because I'm just expect the unexpected. Simple as that. Just expect the unexpected, honey. You never know what you're gonna get out of me, like a box of chocolates. So ride with me if you will, or get off if you don't want to. But life is a roller coaster. And so much of the things on this channel will exemplify that I am trying not to fall off that bed. I'm trying not to, and fall out the seat. So many loop-de-loos and twists and turns, man. I want to stay on the high note, but the reality is sometimes that roller coaster got to go back down, baby, so it can go back up. So you're going to see me in the trenches and you're going to see me at the mountaintops. Hills and valleys, peaks and valleys. I don't know if that's whatever. So, this channel was real life raw, gang. You feel me? I'm giving you the best that I got, baby. My God, trash per usual. But I talked to y'all. I chatted with y'all. Whatever the case is, whatever you get from it, that's what should. Whatever you don't get from it, that's for sure. I will be back again. I was late to 1 week. Like I said, I'd be pre-recording because whenever the juices flow. So whenever this get out, it get out. But one of the weeks, you'll notice that I posted it late. And man, listen, Linda. Doing the best I can. Try not to quit. Because I want to quit every time and every day. Because life sucks sometimes. A lot these days. We're dealing with a lot. these days. You know what I mean? But I'm like, dang, if I'm dealing and I see other people who still get back out and they do it, and I know they're dealing with it too. I'm like, man, they're real inspirational to me. And I'm like, if you could do it, I could do it too. You know what I mean? I'm gonna try. I'm gonna give it the old college try. All right, guys, enough singing to you. Um, that is where my concert ends. This is where my concert ends. But I will be back. I'm gonna keep giving you vocals. You know what I mean? I'm gonna show you my range. You might want to plug your ears, but I'm gonna do what I want to do, and I'm gonna be who I'm gonna be in it. Yeah. All right, we're done. I think we're over that part. So with that being said, I hope that this video finds you in perfect peace. I hope that it uplifts you. I don't know, does something. I don't know. Maybe it's a mirror. Maybe you get to see yourself in me, and that'd be empowering in some way. I don't know, honey. With that being said, I'm gonna cut out. Much love to y'all. Y'all take care of yourselves. Oh damn. I think I said part of my ending line. I know I'm gonna say it at the end of the video, and then I forget to tell. And I know I'm supposed to say something, but then I forget, and then I forget, and I should have looked it up before I recorded. Is what I'm saying, and I did not do that. So with that being said, we're winging it, but I'm gonna keep trying. I'm gonna keep trying. All right, y'all take care of yourselves now. You hear? Okay. Bye. Mwah.